Imagine falling 12 stories through a narrow trash chute, feet first, and surviving the impact only to bleed out in the darkness. Was it an accident or a calculated murder? This is the chilling mystery of Phoebe Handsjuk. On December 2, 2010, the vibrant 24-year-old was found dead in a refuse room, leaving behind more questions than answers. How did an athletic climber and martial artist end up in such a horrific situation? Was she sleepwalking as the authorities claimed, or is there a more sinister story at play? Dive deep into this baffling case, and if you want more gripping true crime stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Investigators suggested that Phoebe Handsjuk entered the trash chute of her boyfriend's upscale Melbourne apartment while sleepwalking. However, her family suspects something more sinister. At 24, Phoebe was an enthusiastic climber and martial artist who brought joy to every room she entered. Tragically, on December 2, 2010, her life ended abruptly in one of the most mysterious cases in Australian history. Intoxicated and under the influence of sleeping pills, Phoebe Handsjuk allegedly climbed into the trash chute of her boyfriend's apartment building and plummeted to her death. Melbourne police discovered her body in the refuse room 12 stories below, where she had fallen feet first into the garbage compactor, nearly severing her foot upon impact. While authorities initially suspected suicide, the coroner declared Phoebe's death a freak accident. However, skepticism persists. Independent experts deemed it virtually impossible for Handsjuk to have entered the chute alone, and her grieving mother firmly believes someone put her in there. Amateur investigators have since turned their attention to Phoebe Handsjuk's boyfriend, 40-year-old Anthony Hampel. As the wealthy son of a Supreme Court judge, he was neither officially charged nor suspected, though many labeled him as controlling. Meanwhile, someone deleted all of Phoebe's sent emails and stole one of her cell phones. Born on May 9, 1986, in Melbourne, Australia, Phoebe Handsjuk had a lifelong love for the outdoors. She was the eldest sibling to her two brothers, Tom and Nikolai. Her father then worked as a psychiatrist, and the family enjoyed a happy life in the Richmond suburbs. However, at 15, Phoebe began experimenting with alcohol and drugs, even running away to live with an ex-convict and his child for 8 weeks. Upon returning home, she was prescribed antidepressants and started dating a local teacher who was twice her age. By 23, Phoebe was working as a receptionist at the Lindley Godfrey hair salon in South Yarra. It was here that she met 39-year-old Anthony Hampel, a handsome events promoter and one of her clients. Hampel, the son of Supreme Court Judge George Hampel and stepson of County Court Judge Felicity Hampel, quickly became her boyfriend. Although her boss, Lindley Godfrey, believed Phoebe would have a brief fling with Hampel, their relationship lasted 5 months, and in October 2009, she moved into his Balancer apartment on Streak Kilda Road. Over the next 14 months, Phoebe Handsjuk's drinking worsened, and she confided in her psychiatrist, Joanna Young, that Anthony Hampel was verbally abusive. She left him 4 times in the 6 weeks leading up to her death, but according to her boss, Lindley Godfrey, Hampel always managed to coax her back. Tragically, Phoebe's 4th return was her final one. On December 2, 2010, the day of her death, Phoebe and her father Len had plans to meet Hampel for dinner. In the interim, she stayed at the apartment she shared with Hampel. CCTV footage captured her leaving the apartment at 11:44 a.m. following a fire alarm, walking her dog before returning to their 12th floor residence. From that point, only Hampel's account remains. He claimed he arrived home shortly after 6 p.m. to find broken glass and blood spattered on the keyboard and computer, but Phoebe was missing. Her purse, wallet, and keys were on the kitchen counter, and there were 2 used wine glasses on the table, which were never dusted for fingerprints. By the time investigators discovered Phoebe Handsjuk in a pool of blood next to a trolley bin in the ground floor refuse room, she had been dead for some time. Her blood alcohol level was 0.16, more than 3 times the legal limit, and she had 1 or 2 sleeping pills of Stilnox, a sedative known as zolpidem, in her system. Authorities determined that Phoebe entered the chute between 12:03 p.m. and 7 p.m. The narrowed chute, measuring 14.5 by 8.6 inches, was just large enough for someone her size to fit through. The coroner concluded that she fell feet first with her hands by her side. Police reported that Phoebe initially survived the fall but bled to death in the darkness while attempting to crawl out of the garbage bin. She had significant bruises on her arms that seemed inconsistent with a vertical fall. While authorities concluded that Phoebe sleepwalked into the chute, many remained skeptical. Was Anthony Hampel involved in Phoebe Handsjuk's death? Phoebe's grandfather, Lorne Campbell, a retired police detective, received the devastating call at 10 p.m. on the day she was found. Upon arriving at the scene, he was convinced of one thing. "I believed she had been murdered," he said. Despite this, homicide detectives, after 5 days of examining CCTV footage and Phoebe's devices, concluded there was no foul play. They theorized that Phoebe had cut her hand and climbed into the chute while trying to dispose of the broken glass. "They missed so much," Campbell remarked. He pointed out that, along with the ignored wine glasses, large shoe prints leading from the apartment were overlooked. Campbell attempted to replicate the climb using a chute model and had Phoebe's friends try it. Despite being sober and athletic, they found it extremely challenging. Retired Victoria Police Detective Roland Lay concurred, noting, "One of the major problems, apart from the dimensions, is that the door jams against your lower back, making maneuvering difficult. Additionally, there is nothing to grip onto." He added that whatever was in Phoebe's system at the time would have made the climb even more arduous. In 2013, a full inquest into Phoebe Handsjuk's death was conducted after her mother raised $50,000 to fund the proceedings. Hampel's attorney rejected the idea of murder, with coroner Peter White testifying that Phoebe had sleepwalked into the chute. On December 10, 2014, the inquest ruled in Hampel's favor. What really happened to Phoebe Handsjuk? Campbell speculates that Phoebe's death might be connected to the Melbourne drug trade, though evidence is lacking. Many remain suspicious of Hampel, who casually ate and drank after noticing broken glass and blood in his home. In 2018, Hampel dated 25-year-old model Belly Schneider, who died with a gold cord around her neck just hours after their breakup. Found at her family home in Moonee Ponds, her death was ruled a suicide by asphyxiation, a conclusion her parents vehemently dispute. Hampel has since moved out of his apartment and is now happily married. For the Handsjuk family, however, moving on from their loss is a constant struggle. What do you think happened to Phoebe Handsjuk? Was it a tragic accident or something more sinister? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more intriguing true crime stories and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.